city trees in my house, so I'm really happy. And here we have Carla Cookies. Yolanda, Carla's up there somewhere. Carla's Cookies is selling biscotti cookies, homemade, to benefit the Family Café. Oh, sweet. So buy twice as much as you were going to buy before. The card will be coming around. It's a great opportunity to get a little snack while you're here for the next couple of hours. Again, good evening, and I'm glad you all had a great day. I'm glad you learned a lot. You went to many sessions, and that you're here ready to sit back and relax for a little while. But before you get too relaxed, I want you all to look around, look right, look left, turn around to your neighbor on the right, and say hi. Summit on Disabilities. A night, believe it or not, of fun and advocacy. I'm sure you all have your raffle tickets. If not, please raise your hands and you guys will move around to get it. You don't need to shout, just keep your hand up until you have your raffle ticket.
Yeah, are you here? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we're right in the center. I'm trying to figure out.
We'll do the raffle at the end of the event. So please stay, you must be present to win. We've got some very excellent raffles to go out. I see somebody coming over here now. This afternoon I didn't introduce Jeremy Countryman and Tanya Hansen the way I should have. So Jeremy, he's helping out. He's the program director at the Family Café. Not modest whatsoever. Tanya Hansen is back there. She's our financial administrator. And then again, we saw Alex earlier today. He's a youth advisor. I'd like to make a brief welcome before we do the presentation of colors. Starfields, if you could come up on stage. And with the department heads who are supposed to be seated, would come up and have a seat on this side. Agency heads. Senator Galvano and Mr. McNichols, if you would come over and sit on this side here. Our board chair has just brought in our governor, Governor Rick Scott. I'd like you all to please stand and rise if you can for the presentation of colors. you all. Please be seated. I apologize. Before we get started, I'm looking for someone very special. Is Linda Carter out there?
No, in the hallway.
Excuse me?
She's still upstairs in the hallway. Upstairs in the hallway. Over by the registration.
Alex, can you run out and get Linda Carter? Thank you, Jeremy. I apologize for the delay. Governor, I apologize for the delay. Thank you. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the opportunities we have while we're waiting. We encourage everyone here over the weekend to get engaged and involved and to sign up and be active in the services that you and your loved ones receive. Here at the Family Café, we have two ways for you to volunteer, to share your voice and to be active. One way is through what we call the delegates. We have over 200 volunteer delegates throughout the state of Florida. We encourage each of you to get engaged and involved and to volunteer to be part of our volunteer organization. We also have what we call the Change Agent Network, which we have such things during the session as our Let's Talk series every Friday afternoon for families, to learn what is happening during the legislative session, to join our community leaders, legislators, or sometimes some lobbyists, to learn what's available and what's going on in the community during the legislative session. I encourage you both to sign up today, tomorrow, while you're here, or you can join us through our website. And our lead delegate, Tim Turner, is always available this weekend for you all to talk. Another way to get your concerns shared with us, and I know you're probably tired of me talking about these, is the pink cards. Here's where we take your questions, your comments, your suggestions, or your complaints about what's working for you and what's not working for you. We know that there are some very talented people out there, some great resources. Let us know about them. Every pink card question gets answered by they get distributed to each of the state agencies, and the booklet is published, our question and answer booklet is published in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I encourage each of you to turn one in, because all your questions that you have today or tomorrow or in the near future may or may not be answered. At this time, while we're waiting for some people to still come into the room, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce to you all Governor Rick Scott. Thank you, Governor, for your time.
Good evening or good afternoon. You have a good event? You know, it is great to be here. So many wonderful people. You know, one of the nicest things I get to do as governor is to come to events like this and see the commitment of individuals to better themselves and the commitment of families to better their loved ones. So the first thing I want to do is we should give each one of you a round of applause for all of your hard work in bettering yourselves each and every day. I'd like to start by recognizing a few people. There's a senator here that is one of the most committed individuals to making sure the right thing happens in our state, to give everybody in our state the opportunity to live their dream, whatever their dream is. And that's Senator Bill Galvano. We also have Representative Victor Torres here, and Florida Representative Scott Clayton here. Also two individuals that want to make sure the right thing happens for every family in our state, especially families that are developmentally disabled and need extra help. So I want to give each of them a round of applause. Then another individual here is Camille Gardner. Her husband is going to be the next Senate President. He is absolutely committed, but she is absolutely committed to helping families all across our state. And I don't know where Camille's sitting, but we'll give her a round of applause. Next, I'd like to recognize Lori Fahey. She does a great job of making sure this event's a great event and just caring about people. So I think we ought to give her a round of applause. Now, one of the nicest things I get to do as governor is try to surround myself with people that really care. I've been able to bring agency heads in, individuals that care every day, want to make an improvement every day in the lives of every person that lives in this state. All 19.2 million Floridians. They want to make sure they surround themselves with good individuals. So let me just recognize a few of them tonight. We've got Dr. John Armstrong, who's the State Surgeon General and the Secretary of the Florida Department of Health. Barbara Palmer, the Director of the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. She does a great job. Dr. Monica Vera-Tirado, Chief of the Florida Department of Education, Bureau of Exceptional Education and Student Services. Lucy Moyes, Public Affairs Director for the Florida Department of Education, Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. Mr. Bill Dutu, Central Florida Managing Director, Florida Department of Children and Families. Cares every day to make sure that the right thing happens with every Medicaid dollar we're able to get. We also have some of your board members here tonight. You've got a great group of board of directors. Susan Barros is here, and she does a great job. Jim Diebelgren is here. Tracy Schmidt's here. Tracy Smith's here. Dee O'Neill's here. I think Susan Goldstein's here. Yolanda Herrera's here. Thomas Brooks is here. Sharon Land-Rousey's here. Gail Williams is here. Now, I got elected 29 months ago. I came into this job where our economy was not doing well. Where the Agency for Persons with Disabilities had a very difficult time staying within their budget. Where we had lost 832,000 jobs in 4 years, and our unemployment had gone from 3.5 to 11.1%. The state budget deficit was almost $4 billion. It's hard to do a lot of good things when you sit in that position. But now, 29 months later, we have dramatically changed the direction of the state. And now your state senators, your state representatives can pass a budget to do good things. People are getting jobs now. 330,000 jobs in a little over 2 years. Unemployment now below the national average, the second biggest drop in unemployment in the country. The budget now, we have a surplus. The agency, that's right. The agency for persons with disabilities now can live within a budget. And guess what? When you have a budget surplus, When you have agencies that run well, you can do good things. So this year I proposed, and your senators and your representatives agreed, that we should put more money into the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. And get people off that wait list. My goal, and I think every senator and every representative's goal is the same thing. Make sure we keep our economy going, so every year we have a surplus, so every year we can make a bigger investment to get more people off the wait list and do more things for the most vulnerable Floridians. Because every one of them, they want to help themselves and they want jobs. Here's my goal, and this is what I want to accomplish as your governor. I want to make this the state that every person that lives in this state that wants a job can find one. I want this to be the state that you say, you know what, I'm going to grow in this state for two reasons. One, I know I can get education. I know I'm going to live in a state where they care about my education, where I can fulfill my biggest and strongest dreams. I want to live in a state that because we have a better economy and because we have a state that people care about each other, we have the money and we will make the investments to take care of the most vulnerable. You can do all these things if you watch how you spend your money. If you make sure people get jobs, create a place where it's the best place in the world to build businesses, then you can do the right things. What I can tell you is the individuals sitting up here all believe in that. Companies like WellCare absolutely believe in that. You have great companies here. You have state senators here, state representatives here, and you have people that work in state government that care about you. So it's a great honor to work with those individuals and to be your governor. It's a great night. Congratulations on a great event. And now it's my opportunity to introduce a very good senator that is very committed to helping you each and every day, Senator Bill Galvano.
Every year, I want you all to know that we have a way, the Family Café way of honoring individuals, volunteers who have done more for us throughout the year. We call this our Silver Spoon Award. This year, our Silver Spoon Award has been helping us in our volunteer efforts. We all watched her, listened to her last night when she packed and stuffed the bags faster than we've ever done before. She has helped organize for us. She has presented on disaster preparedness. I want to tell you as I brag about more of what she's done for us, but I'd like Linda Carter now to roll up on stage and accept this token of gratitude from us. Linda is not only a volunteer,
1 hour and a half for 5,000 bags. Get it done for an hour. I already have the plan right there on how to get it down to 1 hour. But it takes you, the volunteers, to make it happen. I want to thank you for this.
He's already been introduced once, but this time I'm going to let him talk. Senator Bill Galvin.
That was much more important than listening to a politician speak. Believe me. Good evening. It's wonderful to be here. I was just reminiscing a little bit, and I realized that this is a very special family cafe for me because I attended my first family cafe 10 years ago. And so this. At that time, I was invited by then Governor Bush, and when I came, I was sold. I realized how valuable the organization and this summit is, and I realized that this has to be a priority in the state of Florida and in our budget, and a priority for everybody who represents people within this state. And Lori Fahey, you're a superstar. I've never seen any. She is, right? I have never seen anyone work as hard as she does. And it's not just here. In the halls of Tallahassee, she's there at any given time. I could come into my office and she'd be in there comparing notes with staff or going down to see the governor or other members of the House or Senate. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes for your voice to be heard. And she is a wonderful, wonderful advocate for you. And so is your entire board. You know, this session, I have to say, 9 regular sessions and many special sessions through the year, it was probably the best run, most cooperative, and most productive session that I've experienced in my service. And when you think about why something like that would occur, you have to realize that productivity, efficiency, and valuable objectives and accomplishing goals starts at the top. And I have to give that credit to our great governor, Governor Rick Scott. It's hard to say more than what he had said to you just a few minutes ago, because his vision is the vision that needs to be the vision for the state of Florida, and not just now, but in the years to come. And I am thrilled to have worked with him on the issues that are important to all of us in this room, and look forward to working very hard with him in the coming years. And we'll be many weeks pretty soon here, Governor. It's also great to see the representatives and former representatives here. And I have to give a special shout out to Camille Gardner. Her husband, Andy, who will be the president of the Florida Senate, is a wonderful, tireless advocate for the issues that we share. I had the pleasure this session of working directly with him on creating opportunity for, as the governor says, some of our most vulnerable. And so when I think about the future that's ahead of all of us in this room over the next few years, with Senator Andy Gardner at the helm, it is going to be very, very bright. Camille, we're so glad you're here, and give our best to icon leader Gardner. I can tell you that leaving session, I felt very good. The governor mentioned the funding for the wait list. I think it was $36 million additional. 36 additional to take people off the wait list and provide the valuable services that we in government should be providing. we prioritized these issues, whether it was from changing the terms we use to be more in tune with the reality of the opportunities that exist, to, as I mentioned, funding not just the wait list, but many programs, by taking care of deficits within APD, by putting special funding into projects and employment opportunities to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. But I can tell you the most special line item that I was pleased to work on and send to the governor, and obviously the governor embraced and supported, was funding for the Family Café. And that was probably one of the first things I put in the education budget. I had the opportunity of chairing the education appropriations, and I figured if I knock it out early, then Lori won't have to stress all session. But we were able to do that, and not only put the money in, but address the way the budget proviso language read, to make sure that the dollars that we as policymakers feel belong here, so that you can have this summit and come together and share your thoughts and ideas and work on your challenges together, would get to you and would not be mixed up with other budget items. So we were able to fix the proviso as well. So let me just leave you with this. You have very talented people who are going to answer your questions and get into the details. But I think you all should know that you have a voice, that you have a very strong voice in Tallahassee. And that when you come together like this and share your ideas, it's not that you're creating your voice, you're just honing your message. And I encourage you to continue to have that voice. Because, as you heard, Governor Rick Scott is listening, the legislators are listening, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm listening. And I will renew here tonight my pledge to do all that I can to help make sure that the issues that you believe are important are the ones that we address in Tallahassee and in the Florida Senate. Thank you. God bless you.
To come up here just one more time, and Governor Scott to come help me. Senator Galvano, the Family Café family appreciates all your efforts. As you know, we have the story of the rose that we've adopted from the leader of the American with Disability Act, Justin Dart. His wife, Yoshika Dart, gave me she extended me the opportunity to share the story of the rose and to use the story of the rose in honor of Justin Dart. When someone did something really good in the disability community, Justin Dart, an activist that he was, and remember he's a father of the ADA, would send them a dozen roses. I am proud enough that Yoshika Dart, Justin Dart's wife, and Justin has long passed, has extended me the opportunity to share, like I said, the rose, the story of the rose. And this evening, in honor of the story of the rose, we have a rose here that's framed for Senator Galvano. Thank you. And with an extinct, thank you, sir. A true friend is someone who reaches for your hand and touches your heart. The Family Café, 2013. And I want you all to remember, and after this is all over, go up and shake this man's hand and give him a hug and tell him how much you appreciate him. Introduction is going to be a little odd too. Now, friends, Dan Marino was was to attend this evening. However, his plane was grounded this afternoon in Miami. The plane was out of the hangar, got wet through and through, wires were wet, pilot grounded it. He tried to find another plane. Anyway, he's not here. However, he sent his message and he sends his picture. There he is from inside the plane. Mr. Marino and his entire family were going to attend this evening. However, the fact that they could not, they did send his remarks, and they've asked Senator Bill Galvano to speak on his behalf. Senator Galvano? Dan Marino?
Just pretend I'm a superstar quarterback. I know it's going to be hard to focus because I'm a little better looking than Dan Marino. But just pretend it's him. I may need glasses at some point. He writes, like you, Claire and I are parents, and one thing we all have in common is that we love our children. We believe in our children and their ability to achieve their goals, to have a job they choose, to live independently, to pursue what makes them happy. And as parents, we do whatever we can to support them. I want to thank all of you for what you do for your children. Your efforts benefit all of our young people. Tonight, I want to say a special thank you to our state leaders and Florida's governor, Governor Rick Scott, legislators, and staff as well. The decisions you make in choosing where dollars go are difficult. And on behalf of all parents, we appreciate your belief in our children and your commitment to their future. I can guarantee it is money well invested. It is an exciting time for our young people. Glass ceilings are breaking and doors are opening, and together we are walking through them. Tomorrow, if you'd like to learn more about the foundation, he's talking about the Dan Marino Foundation, which we were able to fund in this year's budget. If you'd like to learn more about the foundation and its initiatives, there is a presentation scheduled at 2:30. So those are Dan Marino's remarks, and he is such a great advocate for you, and it was great to see him up in Tallahassee advocating.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Our next speaker, his name is David McNichols, and I have just met him, but I think I've known him for a very long time. He is the President CEO of WellCare. WellCare is our premier sponsor of this event this evening. He also happens to be the father of two beautiful girls. And I'm sure he's going to share his story with you. If you all would please welcome David McNichols.
We'll have to come back to follow. So Governor Scott, Senator Galvano, and even Dan Marino when he's not here, I can't imagine following that. So, and I will tell you, this is my first Family Cafe, but Lori, I promise you, it will not be my last. I will tell you, is 20th anniversary of that. Anyway, we're very proud to be sponsors of Family Cafe, but I want to share a little personal information with you as well, because this is professional for us, and it's personal as well. And so 11 years ago, Mary and I were privileged to have a sweet little girl born to us right here in Orlando. And 9 years ago, we found out that that sweet little girl had several heart conditions, 2 holes in her heart. She had 1 common valve. And you can imagine as parents, and maybe you all can, how devastating that is for parents to learn. And we went on a search for 6 weeks to find the very best heart surgeons in the country And I'm happy to say that we identified the pediatric surgical team headquartered at Miami Children's, who had just opened a new program at our Palmer Children's Hospital. I've done a lot of hard things in my life, but I will tell you that the hardest thing I've ever done was handing that sweet little girl over to the surgeon that morning. But I'm happy to say that it went well, and today that sweet 11-year-old is playing lacrosse and basketball, and she painted a whole bunch of your faces a little bit earlier in one of the host rooms. We thought that would be the most difficult thing we would face, and that was sort of on with life. But 5 years ago, we had another sweet little girl born to us, and she is maybe the greatest treasure of our lives. And we gave her many gifts. My wife's beautiful eyes, her father's steel will, and an extra 21st chromosome. And so Peyton is here with us tonight, and as with all of you, having a daughter born with a Down syndrome and all of the ramifications that come with that, we've been where you are. We struggled with how do we find services for her. But I think the most touching part of that whole story of Peyton becoming part of our family is we knew early on in the pregnancy, right? You have the ultrasounds, and you have the tests, and you have all the things, and people said to us, you know, it's highly likely that your daughter is going to have Down syndrome. And it was interesting that all the medical professionals we dealt with talked about that as though that was a death sentence for her. And they wanted us to do all of the tests to help us decide would we terminate that pregnancy. And I will tell you that it mystified me that was the perspective of so many of our health professionals, because to us, it was a life sentence, not a death sentence. And we had a chance with many of those medical professionals to share our faith with them and why she was a special gift from God for us, and a privilege we were. To be a sponsor for Family Café. WellCare is a company that is very large in Florida. We provide health care every day for more than 600,000 Floridians, and we pay for billions of dollars of health care. But I will tell you that we are no more proud of anything than we're able to help families meet the needs of disabled children and special needs children. And so, Lori, we're proud to be here. You can count on our sponsorship for a very long time.
I'm back. You ready? Next on the agenda, sir, that you're coming back up? No? Okay, great. You're coming back up. You can be
This is what I was asking today.
If you want to take questions, you want to take pictures?
All the questions should go to them. They have all the answers. So do you have the pink cards?
Everyone has pink cards?
Everybody should have a pink card. If you fill out your question on the pink card, I'll be glad to read the questions, all to them. I'll be glad to answer any questions also, and I'm sure Galvin will also answer any questions. But if you'll fill out those pink cards with any of your questions, and then we'll read them and get this started.
This is where the family will just throw it at you. Just see the stick.
It's like my house.
Don't tell me there's not
I've been married since I was 19 years old. I met a wonderful person who was foolish enough to marry me. I was in the Navy. We moved the day after we got married, we moved 1,500 miles away. We grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and we moved to Rhode Island to go on a ship. So it was a great place, but we had no idea what we were doing. We had no money, but today we have 2 wonderful daughters. We have 1 grandchild, grandson, and 2 more on the way. So now we really like our son-in-laws because they're giving us grandchildren. But we are really blessed. And I'll tell you, one of the greatest blessings is to come to events like this and meet all of you. This is, it's work to become governor. If any of you are going to run for governor, it's a lot of work to get there, but it's a ball to get there. And to get to come to events like this and meet you is just a wonderful experience. So I think we're doing questions